Hey, this is Christian coming at you guys. You know what? We're going to be talking about something that so many people struggle with all the time. How many times have you pushed out, so much content, or maybe you don't even know where to start. You want to build a home-based business. You want to develop a little side hustle, but you don't even know where your target market is. Guys, that's what we're going to be talking about. How to research a niche market for your home-based business. Guys, there are so many without even having any marketing experience. See, guys, I'm one of those individuals that I didn't go to college for, marketing. I didn't go to college for business. In fact, I dropped out of college to go more the entrepreneur route. And man, I had a struggling time like many of you. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was trying to produce something. I was trying to create something. And then all of a sudden what happened was I was learning and learning and learning. And as I was learning, I started finding the system and I started developing the system. And then I started seeing results, which is really cool and really awesome. And that's the reason why this whole podcast, and that's the reason why we want to give this stuff out to you guys to be able to share with the same thing. And so now my wife and I, we're in a situation where we can actually mentor and coach other individuals to be able to build a sustainable home-based business and a side hustle. Whether you know marketing, whether you know sales, whether you know how to build a business or not, it doesn't matter because of the system. It is just truly remarkable, guys. I don't know if many of you are in this situation where you go out there and you push out content, and you maybe put out a new product or service and you put it on Facebook or something, or you're very motivated and you actually go out there and start knocking on doors. I don't know. And you don't know who your target market, like who at the end of the day needs your service, product, or system, whatever it is that you're offering to your clients or your customers or your businesses. Who would that be? I remember so many times, in fact, I would run I spend, 50, 70, 100, 200, quite a lot of money on Facebook ads trying to figure out who the heck my target market is. And I was in a situation where I just wanted to make money real quick. And so I would, build a funnel, and I'd like, I just want to get them from here to there. And I just want to sell something, for God's sake, just someone buy something. Oh my gosh. And let me make some money and let me get out of here. And all of a sudden, I started realizing that's not how that works. You got to build a trust and credibility. You have to answer questions that people want. And so we're going to really dive into, before, all that other marketing, attraction marketing, really identifying, okay, who is your niche market? And what's really cool is where we're at right now is because we already have that system in place. We already know who our niche market is. We already know who we're identifying. We already know who we're talking to. And what's really great is that we can filter out all those other people that kind of waste our time, if you will. And we don't want to waste their time either. And so that's what's so really awesome about this, is that I can focus on the people that are going to listen, that self-identify and raise their hand and say, yes, I had this question in my head. I didn't know how to do it, and now I do. And so that's the reason why we're pushing out this stuff. And hopefully, if you like it, definitely subscribe, definitely thumbs up, all that other crap. If you're only motivated and ambitious, definitely go ahead and do that. But getting people to your website is a very important skill. It's not just about writing content and generating a buzz around it, although those are important skills too. The work begins way before you start writing on your site. Okay, before you develop your funnel, before you start developing, copy. The biggest thing you need is to find the perfect niche, the subject of your website. Niche research is about finding profitable subjects that are broad enough to write enough content about, yet narrow enough for you to become an authority on the topic. So, for example, something that Russell Brunson, if you have not read his content or anything like that, it's really great. He's a phenomenal marketer and phenomenal sales guy, but very knowledgeable and very humble. And so he really talks about the three markets, and really it goes down. If you think about it in a spider web, okay, in the middle, there's three: health, wealth, relationships. In fact, if you jump over to our YouTube, you actually can see a video training that we did just to show, more of a picture. But if you're just listening to this, that's perfectly fine. Health, wealth, relationships, right there in the middle. Then let's take wealth, okay? Then it branches off to, let's say real estate or sales or investing, okay? Those are other niche markets. And within those niche markets, there are investing. Let's say there's stocks and mutual funds and, money markets and, 401ks. So there's, in that investing avenue, there's different smaller things, subprime mortgages and, all that other stuff. So, but within let's say, for example, within stocks, there's day trading, there's swing trading, there's, momentum trading. See, within that, then it gets even lower. And so that's really what you want to identify is when you get into those smaller niches. For example, that's the reason why we didn't just, say, hey, how to research a niche market. We didn't want to go and focus on giving this content to, other entrepreneurs in the Shopify and Amazon and other stuff. We really wanted to focus on people that wanted to build a home-based business, a side hustle that didn't have any marketing experience. And that's the reason why we named it the way we named it. Does that make sense? So a great way to establish the popularity of a niche market is to use the Google AdWord keyword tool. This is something that I became very familiar with very recently, just because, I didn't really understand what keywords. I just started thinking, okay, these are the keywords that I think sound good. So I'm just going to put it on there. And what's really incredible is when you really start doing the research and understanding keywords and realizing what is being Googled, what's trending. What I realized is it's almost like a big wave. If you've ever gone surfing, you don't sit there. There's like a perfect timing. You start paddling. I don't surf much, but I mean, let's say you boogie board. I don't know, but I think we've all experienced waves, and so we go in there and we start boogie. We start paddling, and we got to catch up. And there's a right moment where that water crests, and then all of a sudden you ride that all the way in. That's what you want. A trending market is basically things that are just automatically moving and grooving. You can identify that on YouTube. Like, okay, this is, we got 70, 80,000 views. Okay, that is obviously trending pretty well. This one over here has got, 600,000 views. Okay, that's trending even better. So what did they say? How did they say it? What are the keywords that they used? That's the same thing with Google. You can actually go into Google AdWords tool and figure out, okay, this is what's being researched. This is what's being most commonly, Googled or whatever. So, for example, home-based businesses, side hustles. Who are the people that we're trying to market for that? A lot of time, home-based business owners, they don't know how to market. They don't know how to develop internet marketing skills. And so that's why we are starting to push out a lot of this content. So simply type in the name of the niche, and you will see the number of searches performed each month, along with lots of related keywords. So you can also see other things that other people are researching. It's really incredible. Then you can identify, even if you go to Google Analytics, it'll also tell you, hey, where in the United States is that being researched the most, like New York or California or Utah or whatever. If you sign into the tool, you will also see the average price you would expect to pay to advertise on the front page of Google for each term. This should give you a feel for how much money there is to be made in the niche you have chosen to research. There are a number of ways to find out how much competition you will face if you launch a site in a particular niche market. For a very quick and broad estimation, simply search for the niche name in that Google Analytical tool, and it will actually tell you how much it'll cost per click. $4, $5, $6. We don't want to get too much into that, but I just want to share with you. We'll do some other training on that later. But a lot of that is a little bit more in the marketing. Right now, what you're doing is you go in there. Definitely take a look at my YouTube video. But basically, you go in there and say, okay, this is being researched, searched 2 million times, 3 million times, 4 million times in a month. Okay. The higher the number of the results returned, the more competition is out there. Of course, this doesn't give you much insight into the quality of the competition, just the quantity. Okay, so there could be a lot of people searching, and there could be a lot of things going on. However, though, the quality may not be there, and that's still where you can go in there and really fire that niche market up. So don't be, like home-based businesses. There's a lot of people doing that right now. Side hustles. However, though, I realize there's not a lot of good content talking about it. So to get a more reliable indication of how tough a keyword will be to rank for in search results, there are free tools to download. Popular ones include Market Samurai and Traffic Travis. Man, I have a hard time saying that. Say that 10 times, guys. These will always analyze things like how many inbound links are pointing to sites already ranking for the niche terms. This gives a far more accurate picture of competition. but can take a while to fully research. That's what it takes. At the end of the day, what would you rather do? Would you rather spend an hour doing research, or would you rather spend 10 minutes, build a post? I mean, would you rather spend an hour, do the research, build a post, and then all of a sudden you see that, your content actually start exploding? Or would you rather sit there and just, I'm just going to do it, shut up and, build, 10 pieces of content, and then all of a sudden nothing happens? Just take the time to invest into research, understand and develop, and you'll be amazed at the results that can happen. By doing your niche research properly, you will save time and effort. I'm telling you, focusing on the wrong markets will usually result in poor results. Mostly profit, money out of your own pocket, which many of us can't afford. Definitely building a home-based business or side hustle, we can't afford losing that. Okay, when you find a niche market with plenty of search volume, good advertiser spend, and relatively low competition, you have truly found your niche. Those are some of the keys that I want to share with you, and definitely, take a look at our YouTube video that we put out, how to research a niche market for your home-based business without having any marketing experience. It is revolutionary, and I think you will be blown away by what you can do when you find those right keywords, when you find that right stuff, find those questions that people are already asking, and all you do is you find the problem and you fill the solution, and you are the solution. You have a